What's going on, everybody, and welcome on into episode 318 of the Garage Beers podcast. I almost said Boston accent. Brought to you proudly. Oh, that's a special shout out to our guest here tonight, going Boston accent on the broadcast. Brought to you proudly here on the OBR streaming network. Going to make it a quick intro because we've got a great special guest, but we only have a limited amount of time because this dude is busy tonight on NBA draft night 2. People want to talk to him, and he is generous enough to give us some time. So let's do the intro really fast. OBR, get over to the OBR.com. Again, the OBR is Cleveland's oldest, largest independent Cleveland Browns coverage site. And so make sure you go check them out, and then you can hang with us. We don't just talk Browns. We're going to talk about the Cavs tonight. It's NBA draft night. We're going to talk about the Guardians. We're going to talk about the Blue Jackets, and we're even, you heard it, going to talk about the Browns. Woof. Yeah. But make sure you're tuned into the OBR and you are subscribed. With you, as always, I'm your host, Michael Keefe. Joining me, Joey Whalen. Chad, as has been the case the last several weeks, is coaching baseball, but he's almost home, so he'll be on soon. But we'll get to some more of the fun. We'll do our Garage Beers of the week and all that in just a little bit because our special guest is here, and he's only got a limited amount of time tonight. So we are going to bring him right in. You know him from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show and kind of a whole bunch of stuff going on here in the land, and we're going to bring him in now. He's been a great friend of the show, and there's not many people better to talk Cavaliers with than this guy right here. It's Mikey McNuggets. Mike, welcome back in, kid.
What's up, guy? It's a busy night. We just talked to Kobe Altman. We did 35 minutes of solo streaming, waiting for the pick. I got to do Bleacher Report in about 20 minutes. Thrilled to be joining the Garage Beers podcast. I have some electrolytes and water because I haven't been sober enough for Bleacher Report because they do pay me way more than they should for 15 minutes of my time. So shout out to Bleacher Report. But I don't want to risk that relationship. So we're going electrolyte water for Malik Thomas. He's 19. He's not legally old enough to drink. So in honor of them drafting a teenager, I will stay sober. You guys should get hammered though.
And I want to make sure we're very clear. We're paying Mike a ton to be here. So just make sure we know that.
Yeah. 100%. Love you guys.
Yeah, love you too, man. And we're grateful to you to just drop things and fit us into your schedule, especially at a night like tonight. And let's start with the big news. You've called it out, but the Cavaliers had that 29th pick last night. They make the trade with Sacramento to go down to the 34th pick. Then they pick up 2 second-rounders as well. And they select Malik Thomas, Arkansas. He's a guard. Did we get an official height? Because I saw an official height of 6'5", but now I'm seeing 6'3". He
was 6'3.5" without shoes. He's 6'5" with shoes. Real quick, before we dive into Malik Thomas, why do we ever put out non-shoe measurement? When we didn't start playing basketball barefoot. It drives me absolutely effing nuts that you see some of these measurements barefoot as if that matters at all. Either standardize it. Let's measure everyone barefoot. Or just put their freaking height with shoes, okay? He was 6'5" with shoes. He was 6'3.5" barefoot. I don't give a rat's ass if he was barefoot. Like, who cares what his height is barefoot? He's not a huge guard, but he's also not tiny. He's bigger than Darius Garland was. He's bigger than Donovan Mitchell. He's about the same size as Tyrese Proctor. But I don't care. 6'3.5" barefoot, 6'5" with shoes.
Now that we have that distinction.
Yes.
The barefoot heights. Can we start with this real quick? Because I know what the Cavaliers' needs are, and I know what Cavaliers fans are clamoring for. And I don't know what you were talking about. Props to you for the long solo stream. But the second round of the NBA draft, to me, is like day 3 of the NFL draft. Not that you can't find good players, but the NBA pool and just the sheer number of guys that play in the NBA and how hard it is to break in and all that. Once you get into day 2 of the NBA draft, to me, it feels like rounds 4 and 5 of the NFL draft. And yet I still see people just furious with this pick online because the Cavs drafted a guard and they already have a bunch of guards.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, Mike, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. In my opinion, very much like we heard what the Browns say, when you get to the later rounds of the draft, you are drafting traits. You're drafting for a guy that you think could turn into something. So for me, it doesn't really, when you get to the second round of the draft, I don't really care what position you draft for, because in my opinion, if you draft a player that can become part of a rotation for a good basketball team, you have hit a home run with a second 100%. Round pick. What are your thoughts on this?
So Malik Thomas was one of the guys I had circled on the Cavs radar, not just at 34, but at 29. He worked out for the Cavs on Monday, shot the ball incredibly well, turned heads, was a guy that certainly left an impression on the staff via his workout, on top of the fact that he averaged 15 points on the best team in the SEC, this team, at least the team that won the SEC tournament, playing alongside Darius Acuff, had the profile of a guy who was going to be drafted at pick 34 when the when the Cavs got on the clock. I said, this is the order that I would take if I was Kobe Altman right now. Henry Vesar, the big man from UNC, would have been my pick, and then Thomas was number 2. The reason I would have went with Vesar first is A, they don't have a backup big right now, and B, I think he could fit in tomorrow as their third big playing alongside Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and I wanted him at 29. So it was like, all right, you were there, you're still here, you fit. But what Kobe Altman said, I have no issue with. He said, at 34, you draft for talent. You draft a guy that you think at some point could be a special player in this league, because at 34, if you're going for fit, you're trying to thread this super thin needle of, is this player good enough? Will he actually play? Sure, it sounds great that we drafted a backup big, but is he good enough to actually play?
Right.
His backup big. I don't have an issue with the Thomas pick whatsoever. I would have gone Vesar, but I have no issue with the Thomas pick whatsoever. He has the highest upside of any player who was on the board at 34. Once again, I liked Vesar a lot. Obviously, the Cavs didn't like him as much as I did, but I have no issue with the 34, the Cavs going with the player who they think has the highest upside, who they think could become a legitimate playmaker, a legitimate creator, a legitimate shot creator, not just for himself, but for others at some point in his career, over a guy who may have been a little more plug and play ready, but didn't have that high of a ceiling.
We don't have time to break this down, but interesting trade that just came through. Isaiah Stewart from Detroit going to Memphis for 3 future second-round picks. He was a really important piece for them, and so that makes you think Detroit's up to something over there.
They clear some cap space.
They're clearing a little cap space. That is what that seems like.
Also, real quick on that, look how many second-round picks have been traded during the last 48 hours. It is now, it feels like the second most valuable currency in the NBA is these second-round picks, and the Cavs, I asked Kobe Altman directly. I said, would you have taken Malik Thomas at 29 if you didn't have a trade partner? He said, yeah, he was in a consideration. He's a guy that we thought was worthy of the 29th pick. We were able to move back, save money, and pick up a future second round to use in deals. Like, don't overlook that part of this too. It's a future Sacramento second round pick. I don't know what year. They haven't said what year yet, but it's not like Sacramento is a plethora and a pillar of excellence. That second round pick at some point could end up being the 35th, 36th pick, which feels more valuable than ever. So, they got Malik Thomas and they got future cash to spend in another acquisition for a player I think they would have taken at 29 if they didn't have a trade partner. So I got to give Kobe credit. I think they ended up playing this pretty well.
And so let's talk about this kid real quick, because you talked about it. They were a great team down there in Arkansas in the SEC. They won the SEC tournament, and he was a big part of it, averaging almost 16 points a game, averaging about 4 rebounds a game, 2 assists a game. And when you look at the scouting report of this kid, I'm going to bring up a name, and I don't mean for this to be an exact, I'm not saying these two guys are exactly alike, but when you read the scouting report on these two guys, there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of similarities on a scouting report between him and Amani Bates. And here's what I mean by that. Number one thing you will see on the scouting report for this kid is he is the quote is always everywhere, microwave scorer. He can get hot and light it up fast. This is a kid that in SEC play, not just the tournament, this is pretty much the whole season for the Arkansas Razorbacks, shot almost 50% from 3.
Mm-hmm.
He set an Arkansas record for 3-pointers, and this is an Arkansas team that's had some pretty damn good players that have gone through, even though they go like decades between being good. He set a record for them in SEC play from shooting beyond the arc. He's a guy that can get hot. He's also a really good ball handler. He's really good at getting to the rim. He's good at drawing fouls. And his passing ability, those 2.5 assists per game, only 1 turnover a game for him. So he's pretty good at staying in control. When you look at the other side of things, he can, what I saw over and over again was on the weakness side, can play like a chicken with his head cut off. He looks, sometimes the game looks like it is moving way too fast for him. And again, he was only 19. He was a freshman. Maybe a little bit of that is to be expected, but he can take some really terrible shots. He can kind of get lost on the dribble, and defensively, things are not pretty. at this point with him. So that's a little bit of the scouting report. Thoughts there?
Yeah, if you take away the visual and just read the scouting report, the Amani Bates comp is legit, but he doesn't play anything like Amani Bates for what it's worth. You know,
Yes.
Amani was an isolation, clear out, don't use any screens. I'm going to go one-on-one and take a bunch of pull-ups as opposed to getting to the rim. Malik scores in different ways. Kobe Altman dropped this stat, so I'm quoting Kobe here. I hope Kobe's right. He has better numbers than I do. But Malik shot 47% on off-dribble threes this year, which is just a stupid number for a 19.
What?
Shooting is a skill that will never go out of style in the NBA. And this kid can legitimately shoot the rock. And the fact that he's that advanced of a shooter off the dribble already, to me, tells me that the rest of his game, when it catches up, that is going to be his default. And if that's your default, it makes everything else come easy. That's the hardest part of your game to master as a guard, as a scorer, is the off the dribble stuff. And he has that. That's going to force defenses to attack him over screens, to hedge. You can't go under on a guy who shoots that well off the dribble. It puts drop coverage in chaos. That is the requisite skills that allows a young guard to be productive early on in his career. Defensively, he's got a lot of work to do. Like a lot of work to do. He gets caught watching the ball a ton. There were certain games throughout the SEC where I think it was the Ole Miss game. Maybe it's the A&M game. Maybe it's the Ole Miss. I watched a couple games of him yesterday. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but he got back cut like 5 times in the same game. And you could see John Calipari by the end of it being like, I can't take you out because we need your offense, but I'm going to strangle you if you don't stop staring at the ball and get back on some of these back cuts. But he was 18 years old during SEC play, just turned 19. Like, these are mental mistakes that happen to young kids playing at that level for the first time. I don't think any of it's too concerning. And I'll go back to what I said. I don't know if he's ready to contribute as a rookie. I don't know if he's 2 years away from being able to contribute, Mike and Chad / Joe. But at the end of the day, this dude has legitimate upside that at some point, if he develops, which Kenny Atkinson and company have had a really good track record of developing guards, going back to his days in Atlanta, to LA, to Golden State with the Nets. Point guards have kind of thrived in combo guards like this. Go look at D'Angelo Russell before he came into contact with Kenny Atkinson in Brooklyn. He was a lost cause. All of a sudden, he becomes an all-star. Like, Kenny has a really good track record with these particular kind of guards. He has all the skills that make you say, there's something there worth investing in. And even if he doesn't contribute right away, he has the upside to be a legitimate contributor on a playoff rotation in a couple of years.
And here's the thing. Here's the last thing, because I know, again, people are worked up. We need wings, and we need this. Listen, yes, I'm not disagreeing. However, the other thing that I think the Cavaliers desperately need is somebody, whenever he's ready to step into the role that I think maybe this kind of guy can step into, they desperately need these kind of like guys that can create and do this for themselves, but also create for somebody else. Just creators.
Yeah.
Because they've got a lot of shooters. They've got a lot of guys that can get things created for them, but I don't know that they have. Once you get your creators out there, you don't have a lot of other guys that can create for themselves. You got to have guys like this. And I think that does bring a needed element to the team.
100%. Chris Finch said this in the playoffs after they lost to the Thunder last season. And it stuck with me, Mike, and this playoff run, not just for the Cavs, but watching the entire NBA playoffs unfold, really kind of hammered it in. After they lost to OKC, a reporter asked Chris Finch, hey, Chris, look into the offseason. You know, in my opinion, it looks like ball handling is the biggest thing you need. Mike Conley's getting older. Would you agree that ball handling is – and by the way, OKC pressed the crap out of Minnesota and forced a ton of turnovers a series. And he was like, is ball handling the thing that you need the most of this offseason? He said, no, it's I mean, like, yeah, you always want more ball handlers, but we need shot creators. We didn't have enough guys who can create shots, force the defense to collapse, and get the ball to kick it out to our shooters. Jaden McDaniels is a great player, but if someone's not getting him the ball, he's not much of an offensive threat. They're not even guarding these guys like they're threats. The Cavs in the postseason, whether it was Toronto, whether it was Detroit, whether it was New York, they were begging anyone but Donovan and James to try to initiate offense. They were begging Dean Wade to begging Sam Merrill, begging Max Strus, begging Evan Mobley, begging Jared Allen. So much of that playmaking and shot creation fell on the shoulders of James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan was banged up. He didn't play particularly well. James had his moments. James is also terrible in moments. He's 37 years old. You can't ask him to shoulder that much of the shot creation load at this stage of his career. They need guys in the Malik Thomas build who can create some shots. And whether it's him, whether it's Proctor, at times it was Dennis Schroeder. I don't think Schroeder's going to be on the roster next year, but he was really their third best shot creator in the playoffs.
Yes.
And that's a major issue, guys. If Dennis Schroeder's your third, that's an issue. Look at the other teams who made it far. The Spurs, Castle, Wemby, Vassell, Fox.
Right.
I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. The Knicks. Hell, Landry Shamet turned into a shot creator in the playoffs. Landry freaking Shamet was on a non-guaranteed contract. Landry Shamet and Thomas Bryant are the same contract this year. Do you know that?
Yep.
Both had non-guaranteed contracts. One was
really great.
Plays against Victor Wembanyama in the NBA Finals, and I love Thomas. TB's my guy. But, like, Kenny Atkinson didn't trust Thomas Bryant to walk his dog. And Landry Shamet's taking Victor Wembanyama off the dribble.
Right.
Like, it's just like they didn't have enough dudes. At the end of the day, they didn't have enough dudes. And if Malik Thomas, if the Cavs believe he could become a dude at some point, then it's a worthwhile gamble at 34. I'll die on that hill.
All right, so we know Malik Thomas, newest Cav. There's just two quick things I want to get from you before we get out of here. While we got you talking Cavs. Obviously, this is not Cavs, but we saw that big domino fall in the Giannis trade, which, in my opinion, until we see, everybody's trying to evaluate what it is, but we don't know what Miami's about to do.
Yep.
Because what they're about to do is going to determine what that trade is. Because as of right now, it's a trade of big names that doesn't really it wants to move the needle. I just don't know that it moves the needle at this point. But it depends on who they put around Giannis. I think too many people are evaluating this too soon because if you look at Miami right now, they are an okay team again. But a lot of people are going to want to go play in Miami now. Yeah.
I would assume so. And by the way, the roster's not as decimated as people make it seem. They still have Andrew Wiggins. They still have Davion Mitchell. They still have Larson.
Norman Powell.
Oh, no, Powell's a free agent. They actually need Norman Powell back because outside of Norm, they have no shooting. Like they may try to win games 68-66. Like we're going back to the 80s because where's the floor spacing? Davion Mitchell's not a shooter. Wiggins can shoot, but he's not like he's a knockdown three. Giannis and Bam, like they kind of need Norm Powell, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to afford to bring Norm Powell back with how valuable shooting has become in today's NBA. Miami's better, and I would have done the trade 100 out of 100 times if I was Pat Riley. But I don't know how good Miami is. I don't think they catapulted themselves into the top three in the Eastern Conference by any means with this deal. But I also think they're far from finished making moves.
It's going to be what happens next. That's going to be the thing. So that brings this up because again, the Cavaliers, not sure what's going to happen with them yet. Going into the offseason was we still like our core. We like our guys. We're going to run this back. We're going to go into a full season with James Harden. That's been kind of the whole conversation. But there's also a lot of smoke out there, man. There's a lot of smoke, and it seems like it's getting thicker and thicker. And especially about a young dude out of Boston who is on the outs with the Celtics. And for some reason, I don't really know what this reason is, but for some reason, the Cavaliers are the team most closely linked to Jaylen Brown right now. What are your thoughts on this?
The link is that Boston is interested in Evan Mobley, not necessarily that the Cavs have any interest in making the deal. I just want to make that clear. That's the one part that's gotten lost in this whole thing.
Clarify it.
Yes. And it's not you, it's just everyone. We did it on the show today, and I had to make it. The reports are from Boston side, not from Cleveland side. However, I have said since they lost to the Knicks that the Cavs cannot run it back as is and think they're going to win a championship. I do not think this roster is good enough to win a championship. I think the fit of Brown, Harden, and Mitchell together offensively is disgusting. You want to talk about boring isolation basketball where all three guys, it would be
hideous.
Like, just scrape my eyes out now. However, I think you have to make the trade if it is available. I can't sit here, and I love Evan Mobley, but I can't sit here and say the Cavs have no chance to win a championship as is and say wing is their biggest deficiency and have a wing presented to me who's playing at an all-NBA level, who's under team control for the next 3 years, who's best friends with Donovan Mitchell, by the way. and not be willing to trade Evan Mobley, who has currently constructed, who in this system, I don't think is better than Jaylen Brown right now. I think Evan Mobley could be better than Jaylen Brown if he was in a system that played through the bigs, that tried to utilize him better. But I'm sitting here. I've been sitting here. I've been saying for weeks, you can't run it back. And now an all-NBA wing is presented to me. And Evan Mobley, who I love, but I think is miscast on this Cavs team, is the price to acquire said wing. I think I would have to. I think I would say yes. And I hate myself for saying that. Let me make that clear. I understand the fit is horrific. I would hate to cover that team because it would be, I have to say I've been watching Twitch till 2 a.m. every morning. I don't want to do that. But I think you would. I think I would have to, because I can't. I'd be a hypocrite to say, hey, this team's not good enough to win a championship. You can't run it back. Oh, but I wouldn't trade for an all-NBA wing if Evan Mobley's the price. So that's kind of where I stand on that one, guys. Well, I'm curious, what would you do, Joe? Would you make the deal?
You make a good argument. To be honest, I'm in the camp that I don't know if James Harden is part of the solution of this roster with a full season. Personally, I don't know if I want to.
That's the issue. I'm not sure you have an out to that issue.
I know. So,
and I would rather trade if it was available. I'd rather trade Donovan for Jaylen Brown, but I don't think that's an option either. So it's, how do you improve with the actual realistic opportunities to improve? And once again, Mike, and I want to hear what you think too. I hate the fit. Like, I cannot. Hate is not a strong enough word for how I think that offensive team would look.
Loathe.
But I also don't know if I can turn down that opportunity when I don't think the current roster is good enough to win as is.
I don't know that I think the current roster is good enough to win as is, but I don't think I'm going to make a move that I also don't think gives them a good enough roster to win as it is. Like, I think sacrificing Evan Mobley for Jaylen Brown, you're, to use the oldest man saying of all time, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? You're go ahead and weaken horrendously your point guard position to now you've got a wing, but now you got a point guard problem. And I think Evan Mobley is one of the most kind of unfairly judged guys. I think Evan Mobley he's still coming. And I think he just continues to, I think in the playoffs, he showed so much, man, his shooting in the playoffs until the very end was unbelievable. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it for Evan Mobley for Jaylen Brown. If they want to put together a different package, for me, this roster construction, getting good enough to win a title, I think it could be good enough if we're talking about just building up a different way to get guys off the bench, shot creators, guys that never give the other team a chance to take a break. That, to me, is where I think this team can build up. But I'm not sacrificing Evan Mobley for Jaylen Brown. No, thank you for that.
I would feel terrible doing it, but I think at the end of the day I would. If Trey Murphy was available and there were other options to acquire a wing, I think I would do it. I'd prefer that route as opposed to this one. But once again, I'd be a hypocrite to say just stand pat and pray that somehow James Harden and Donovan Mitchell stay healthy in a playoff series for a playoff run.
Yeah.
And last thing, because I got to run a sec.
Yep.
If they're going to keep both bigs, they have to play big. Like, the Cavs have to commit to playing big or trade one of Allen and Mobley and commit to playing 1 out or 1 in, 4 out basketball. Because this whole, we have 2 bigs, but we don't really want to play big. We're paying our center $30 million, and he may not be in the. You can't pay $30 million to someone who's not in the closing lineup. You can't. Like, it's just an unfeasible thing. So if you have to figure out that if you're going to have both bigs, play big. If you're not committed to playing big, then you have to trade one of those two for a wing. I'd prefer to trade Allen over Mobley. The return's not going to be as good. It's a delicate balance. But if you're going to keep both of them, play big basketball. The Cavs have not shown the propensity to do that. And I think that's why I'm most frustrated.
Hey, as you get ready to get out of here, the other rumor today was that the Lakers would certainly be open to trading LeBron James for Jared Allen. So let's see what happens there. All right. Hey, Mike, you got to run. I know you're going to do another hit here, and you got a busy night, NBA draft coverage. Mikey McNuggets, Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Great stuff, man. We appreciate you having you always. We appreciate your Cavs insight, and we look forward to catching up with you down the line, man.
Anytime, guys. Pleasure. See you soon.
See you, Mike. How about Mike Lucas, a.k.a. Mikey McNuggets from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show? That was great, man. That's a dude that works in media that knows how to come on and just do a hit, right? Like, and we're terrible at it. We are terrible. I'll have a guest and I'll be like, maybe you come on for like 20 minutes. And then like 47 minutes later, I'm like, oh, we should probably get this person out of here. But Mike, man, dude knows how to come in and do it. But it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. And there's not Cavs are in a spot right now. They're in a very weird spot to me, Joe, in that I don't know that there's a one move answer for the roster, but it's also like not as far off as I think some would make it look. You know, you play this Knicks team that goes on this tear that they win on. And look at the run that the Knicks win on. And they were just as good as it gets in the playoffs. The Knicks were as good as it gets. And they made ever since the Cavs fell apart in game one, they made the Cavs look silly the rest of the way. I don't think that means this roster cannot be a competitive roster. That's not my opinion here.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think you guys both have very valid points. Like, I don't know if I'd feel strongly if, let's say those are like the two decisions of how we're going to construct this roster in the offseason. I don't know if I'd be like mad at either one. Definitely the Mobley one is like shocking and unsettling a bit because, I agree with your perspective. Like, just growing every year. Like we did not get as far in the playoffs. We would not have gotten as far in the playoffs as we did without Evan Mobley. Like he was the clincher for a couple of the games, the difference maker in a couple of the games in that run. But I think you got to shake something up, but maybe just like step down for the Mobley level, like Jared Allen for LeBron. That's interesting. Too bad James Harden can't be part of the piece. It kind of feels like hopefully they can just figure out a different plan for him in the offseason and different way to play him. But it feels like the biggest issue right now.
I like this. Serge says, Joe wants a very ethical mid-level trade.
Unproblematic. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, everybody love everybody. And that's a basketball movie. I like this comment from Phil. The Knicks are killers and the Cavs aren't. Simple as that. How do you fix mentality? Does it come from the coach? Can you add a player or two that has a killer mentality? Listen, I think it goes even a little bit above this, but 100% Phil. And that's been the Knicks' MO. It's why the teams that have eliminated the Knicks in the playoffs in previous years have had a hard time doing it. And that's because they've got that killer thing. But I also think the Knicks are willing to play a brand of basketball that isn't like this glorious new way to play basketball, right? Like my thing that I'm jealous of when I watch the Knicks, and I don't want to make this into like a let's talk nice about the Knicks podcast, but what I'm jealous of when I watch the Knicks is how willing those dudes are to take a gross mid-range shot and bury it 87% of the time. How willing Jalen Brunson is to just get to a spot on the floor that he's trying to get to make a shot he's confident to make, as opposed to let's try to jack 100 threes or get to the rim and nothing in between. And to be honest with you,
is that a coaching issue?
Well, I think it's a player issue first. I think because as a coach, it's the NBA. And it's players are going to play the way they want to, and the coach isn't. You can say what you want, but it is what it is. Mike Brown, listen, here's the thing on the Knicks. Mike Brown didn't show up and all of a sudden they just played a different way. This is the way they've been playing, but they got over the hump this year. I would love to see Donovan Mitchell more get to his spot and make easy jumpers as opposed to be either a three guy or a get to the rim guy and nothing in between, because Donovan Mitchell is kind of that. His floater game is great, but like that little stop, that little quick dribble to the right and then a stop, you lose your defender and hit like a free throw jumper that Jalen Brunson's so good at. I would love to see Donovan Mitchell play that kind of way. I would love to see Donovan Mitchell play the way Jalen Brunson does. He could, but he gets lost too much in the either I'm taking a three or I'm getting to the rim and nothing in between. James Harden, that is kind of where he made a living in his career, is being that kind of mid-range kind of guy. And to be honest with you, I would if you want my opinion on how do you unlock Evan Mobley's next step in his offensive progression, he's become a much better three-point shooter. I trust him off the dribble at this point. Add that old school, not old school Cavs fans, but like first era LeBron Cavs fans will know what I'm talking about. Add that like Joe Smith level thing to his game. And what I mean is there would be times where the defense collapses. Joe Smith would just be standing at the elbow. And when LeBron would hit Joe Smith for an elbow jumper, it was automatic. Zadrunas was great at it. Hit that mid-level jump. Like, Evan, be a mid-level jumper, a mid-range jumper guy. Be a mid-range jumper guy. And do all the other stuff too, but be a mid-range jumper guy. I think that would unlock a whole new thing with him. So part of that is coaching, Joe. Get these guys to spots where it doesn't have to be so difficult. That's what the Knicks figured out. That's what they figured out. So I like Evan Mobley. And for me, going back to what Mike said he would trade Evan Mobley for Jaylen Brown. I would not, because if I'm going to trade Evan Mobley, it's got to be bigger than that. It's got to be bigger than the second best player on a different team. And I know Jaylen Brown's good. And I know he had an all-pro year this last year. And frankly, he was a reason they made the playoffs, because they didn't have Jason Tatum most of the year. But that's not the guy I want for Evan Mobley. If you were going to include, what's that?
I was going to say, curious why he's on the outs with Boston, because when I read, he was supposed to be part of the Giannis package, but obviously he went to Miami instead, and so interesting. They're just shopping him around with 3 years left of control.
I think I don't know. I think there was something that happened there that he did not like being part of trade conversations as well, and you know how that can all go. But listen, interesting stuff for the Cavs. Again, Malik Thomas is the newest Cav, and Mike and I were on the very same page with that. Just find a guy that could be a player. I don't care if he's a guard, center, power forward, whatever. If you're picking in the second round, give me a guy that can be a player. And Malik Thomas is a super offensive player that I think could become a creator in the offense. And if that's what he can become, even if he's just a bench guy, if he could be a creator off the bench, you've hit a home run with this pick. And now you've got to find ways to build up the rest of the roster elsewhere.
The NBA draft is wild, because it's just, if you can find anything past the first round, then you've hit a home run. But it's really like a low consequential pick that late. Yeah.
And listen, back to the very last thing, and I brought this up to Mike, and he said he'd do it. But if that rumor is true, if the Lakers would be willing to sign LeBron James to some contract and then trade him to Cleveland for Jared Allen, I love Jared Allen. We've got to separate guy from player. Jared Allen's like one of my favorite guys. He's just a good dude, good guy. Love Jared Allen. Not mad that he's here. But there are limitations. And granted, we saw in the playoffs, we saw at times Jared Allen become the most important player for the Cavs. We saw Jared Allen in 2 Game 7s against Toronto and Detroit. Dominate those games. So it's there. It just doesn't happen. There's the consistency isn't enough. And there's too many times where he follows up 27 points and 18 rebounds with 6 points and 5 rebounds. And that hurts. There's that consistency. And part of that is also coaching and keeping him involved in all that, but you can't just disappear. And he's a player that can disappear. So listen, I don't want to make this about LeBron James, but if I could trade Jared Allen for LeBron James, move Evan Mobley to center, find a power forward, or do whatever I'm going to do there, I'm doing that. I'm making that move. Make LeBron the power forward.
I'm selling the farm for LeBron. Whatever it takes to get him here for his final season. Are you kidding me? Like, it just make him happen.
You could still keep running Max Strus out there. Just make LeBron the point forward.
Yeah.
And go.
Yeah.
Here's my last thing I'm going to say on the Cavs. I saw this topic come up on Twitter and it exploded. Cavs fans, now knowing what you know now, would you rather have Darius Garland back instead of James Harden? And I saw that topic explode. Ooh, let me get your opinion before I give my very strongly worded opinion.
This is very difficult. And it kind of goes to my feeling with the Cavs is like, we have a lot of really good players. I don't know if we have, bumming over a little bit. I don't know if we have the right combination of superstars, and I don't think James Harden adds to that, but I also don't think Darius Garland added to that either. If this or that, like, I think I still keep James Harden in the mix. I think that when he was producing, it was leagues beyond what Darius Garland could produce for this team. Now, his flaws are enormous and like detrimental to the playoffs.
Devastating.
Times. Devastating, but also you got further than you ever did with Darius Garland. And so the team improved this year, but I don't think I would do that trade. My more concern with James Harden is like forward thinking. Like I just don't know what kind of product we're going to get out of him this year. And like for me, there has to be some big changes to how they are utilizing him, whether that's a roster change to help support him or whatever. But like he cannot be like the guy holding the ball for 30 fucking minutes of the game. Like I just can't watch him dribble for that long anymore.
Dude, my strongly worded thing is that I agree 100%. Why are we acting like we didn't just get? I know we got swept by the Knicks, and frankly, my big regret as I look back on this season is that my big regret for the Cavaliers is that they did what they did to shit their pants in game 1 of that Knicks series in the Eastern Conference Finals, because I do not believe if the Cavaliers win that game, I do not believe the Knicks win the next 4 games. I believe the Cavs lost the next 3 games because they devastatingly choked away that game. Historically choked away that game until the Spurs did the same damn thing in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Just as bad, if not worse. And I wish we got to see a Cavaliers team that wasn't just bent over mentally the rest of that series the way they were.
I was rooting for the Knicks in that series, or sorry, the Spurs in that series.
I was not.
But I was so happy when they lost that game because it's like, oh, maybe they will forget about the Cavs blowing that massive lead in game 1.
Well, it made it way more about the Knicks than it did about the Spurs, or than it did about the Cavs.
Or the Cavs,
which
yeah.
was nice.
Sure.
That was nice. But no, let's not act like we didn't just get the farthest we've been. Let's not act like we didn't just get farther than we got with Darius Garland at all. We just Donovan Mitchell just got to the conference finals for the first time in his career. James Harden helped with that. I hate the way he played in some of these games, but I also think that what was it, game 3? We were down 0-2 against the Pistons. James Harden put us on his back at the end of game 3 to get that win. James Harden played phenomenal in game 4 to help us run away with that game. James Harden had some big games and he had some small games, and that's what you get with this dude. But let's not act like he was just horrific and the Cavs just couldn't win with him. They won because of him in certain circumstances. So no, I'm doing that trade because I saw what Darius Garland brings, and I saw the deficiencies with Darius Garland as well. And I think this adds a new element. Do I think it's enough to get him over the hump? No, I don't.
You also got hit in the face a lot less. That was nice.
Yeah, much less face hits. All right.
Much less face hits.
Enough of the Cavs talk. Why don't we go ahead and bring in our co-host, the one and only Chad Meyer.
Hi, everybody.
Halfway into the show, and Chad's in the house.
Yeah.
Ask Chad about the trade.
Don't worry. Everybody will see my face from here on out, fully on time after tonight.
Hell yeah.
I know everybody was worried about it. I know Phil is not a bot. I know Chef Brian K. You're worried sick about me every week, yeah. But I'm going to be here from the beginning of the show starting next week.
Love this. Part-time Chad in the house, says Serge.
Damn right. What's
Chad's
up, Serge?
It's like he's the Brock Lesnar of the Garage Beers podcast.
That's right. I show up when
he wants.
I show up when I feel like it. I'm a cat. No, you don't get to pet me. I'm going to come get petted by you when I want. Okay?
Chef Brian K says, Chad, who? Who the hell's this guy?
Yeah, might show you my butt along the way.
Nope, let's not do that. All right, that's enough of that. All right, Chad, you're joining halfway. We're done. We finished up our Cavs conversation. Mikey McNuggets was the shit, as he always is. But let's get into our midway. Here's what we didn't do. What we didn't do at the beginning of the show, Chad, is we did not do our Garage Beers of the Week because Mikey's doing a bunch of media hits tonight because the Cavs made a draft pick. And so we got to do our Garage Beers of the Week.
Did we make a trade too? Did Joey said something about a trade?
Yeah, what trades were you asking about? Like, should the Cavs make trades?
Yeah. The first one Mikey said.
Let's just leave it. Let's just leave that.
All right.
The Evan Mobley for Jaylen Brown one?
Yeah. You taking that?
I mean,
quick answer.
I'd think about it. It's worth the conversation. That's my quick answer.
Right.
Jared Allen for LeBron James. Quick answer.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Chad, NBA expert, baby.
Yeah. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows it.
Chad knows way more about the NBA than he lets on. There are not many people that have sat as close to NBA games as this guy has sat over the years. So this guy knows a little bit of something. All right. Yeah. Chad, we already know what your garage beer is because you were just drinking it. So why don't you announce it for the people that are not watching?
It's God. Holy shit. I almost broke the mic. Corona.
Ooh. Corona.
I'm quite the seasonal fellow when it comes to beer, and it just feels right for a Corona.
La cerveza más fina. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Team Mexico all the way.
Whee!
All right. We got Corona. Joe, what's your garage beer of the week this week?
America.
USA.
I got this from the bar that I watched the game at. I don't know if I was supposed to take it, but
you were.
Well, Klepto never hurt anybody.
Anyways, were.
Yes, we lived the old college days.
Extra lush triple IPA. I'm going on a trip next week, so we didn't really stock the fridge. But when I get back, we're buying some beer. So this is like the last one that I have a repeat of for a while, and it's very good though. It's quite delicious, and it's in the lovely USA soccer cup.
What was the beer again? I don't know. I think I missed it.
Fremont Extra Lush Triple IPA.
Yeah, Joey's a lush. Joey's a lush tonight. Drinking a lush. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
nice. Love it. All right. Well, boys, I was drinking a drink, by the way. I maybe I should have just done it, but it felt like a lot of work here. I had a couple of these while I was sitting hanging out with my mom and my wife tonight. And I had a couple of these. I bought some champagnes of beers. I bought some Miller High Lifes in the bottles. And then I saw this video out there, and I'm like, I'm going to give this a try. You take a High Life.
Okay.
You take a big swig out of it.
Okay.
And then you fill it with Aperol, the Italian liqueur.
Okay.
Like a bitter orange liqueur.
All right.
And I saw somebody like, this is the drink of the summer. I was like, well, shit, I got to try that. I can't miss a trend. I don't want to FOMO my way out of the drink of the summer. And it's delightful. So if you got a bottle of Aperol, pick up some High Lifes. Just take a big chug and then fill it with Aperol. It is a delight. That is not my beer of the week this week.
The champagne of spritz?
That kind of, yeah. It felt like too much work. So instead, I got from Masthead this beer that's called A Series of Tubes. I like the can art. You know what? I was walking through Heinen's.
It's like the pipe dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was walking through Heinen's. The can art caught my eye, and I bought A Series of Tubes.
And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to get it. I'm just going for it.
You're holding Masthead's first beer brewed with cryo hops.
Whoa!
Cryo hops.
Soft, juicy IPA, crafted to showcase the tropical notes of these specially processed hops. We hope you enjoy. Well, I am enjoying this. This is the beer. It looks as you would think it would look, and that's what I'm drinking.
It's soft. It's very soft. It's a pillowy.
Let me know what you guys are drinking in the comments. Chef Brian Case having a PBR.
Nice.
Phil's not about just saying America in the comment. Yeah. Chef Brian Case. See, I like that people kind of start to get to know us. In honor of the reflecting pond, I've got a Rolling Rock in a green bottle.
Hell yeah.
That's so good. That's
Hell yeah.
Chef Brian K. Oh, shit. I love it.
Brian, you need to get the PBR Max.
Hey, somebody sliced it, all right? Somebody sliced it with a knife. If you're having drinks and I didn't call you out, put it in the comments. We'll get it up here, but those are our garage beers of the week. And that's going to roll us right into our asshole of the week. And so I'm going to take this one because it is an extension of what we've already talked about here on the show. My asshole of the week is the NBA draft. It sucks. Like we get so used to the NFL draft that happens in April, and it's such an awesome display, and it's such an awesome thing to watch, and they put on such a good show and all that. And then the NBA draft happens, and I started it, and I tried to watch it last night, and I fell asleep on the couch before the Cavs. The Cavs were coming up, and I fell asleep on the couch. It sucks. The NBA draft sucks ass. And listen, part of it is my fault in that I don't like to watch college basketball. So I just don't get invested in these guys so much anymore. Part of it is the NBA's fault in what they've done recently, where it's like, you're not just drafting college basketball kids or high school phenoms, but now it's, and even I like the international guys, but then they made like the G League Elite and all these other things. I'm like, I don't even know who these guys are. And then it's just the execution of it. Like the panel sucks. It's not fun listening. They do these like poor Lisa Salters, man. She gets thrown in there to do these like 7-second interviews with these guys. And they're like, yeah, this is great. And then she's like, hey, thanks for catching up with us. The product sucks. And then to top it all off, and this is what pisses me off most, it's a 2-round draft that used to take like 3 hours to get through, and now it's a 2-night event. For two rounds, it's a 2-night event. As if anybody gives a shit about night 2 of this.
No.
I'm sorry. The NBA, just a group of assholes. Like, I want to expand things as big as they can get, but man, this is just greedy bastard shit written all over it. Like how we do things. The NBA sucks at the draft. So that's my asshole.
Then you feel for Lisa Salters, but then you hear the questions she asks, like, when did you know you wanted to be a first-round draft pick?
Yeah. I love that.
Like 2 hours ago, maybe. I don't know.
But I'm not even going to be mad at her, because what am I going to say to her? Hey, and then they put these poor kids' parents on the couch next to him, and she never. I think I saw her talk to one kid's parents, but they're all holding microphones.
Yeah,
the product stinks. It stinks, and they've made the NBA draft suck, and they're assholes. Joe, go on. Who's your asshole of the week?
Hopefully I don't steal this from Chad, but Mike Babcock.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Holy smokes. The new head coach of the Oilers gave his first presser.
Oh, here we go.
Resigning from the Blue Jackets. And this asshole has the audacity. He, had the opportunity to just have a little bit of ownership for his actions in Columbus.
Never.
Just a little ownership and be like, hey, like, there were some mistakes made there. I'm going to do better. Instead, he blamed resigning on his wife, basically saying like she coaxed him to resign, and then he was like done going back into retirement, and then the Oilers thing called. But then he goes into this whole like talking in third person, if you don't do Mike Babcock's way, then you're out. And it's just like, you're a dick, dude. Like, you are just a scum human being. Sorry for the Oilers that are just going to have to deal with this all year, but not really, because like that entire franchise, in my opinion.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see if he gets to the beginning of the season. We'll see if he gets.
We'll see if he makes it through. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna fly going through Connor McDavid's phone, given who Connor McDavid is. But
no, we all know what's going to happen here. We all know. Just pardon me for being the Columbus Blue Jackets shill that I am. But like, we all know he's going to go win a cup with Edmonton now. We all fucking know it.
No.
I don't know.
He'll be out. He'll be out.
Yeah, the guy sucks.
But saying, I didn't bench anybody. It was clear that we weren't in sync from the get-go in that organization. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, right. Correct.
Bullshit.
Like, you were in sync until you did Mike Babcock things again, and you nobody wanted to fucking work with you.
Correct.
You, dude.
Correct.
Give it 3 months.
Yeah, right. All right, Chad, asshole of the week.
Well, I mean, that was going to be one of them, but luckily, Joe, I had two, and I'm going with youths, or someone. So last summer, there would be. It seemed about every couple of weeks, we'd walk outside in the morning, and I would see the tree branches on from one of the trees on my tree lawn cut down and just left there. On my tree lawn, right? And I'm like, okay, this is weird, but okay, someone obviously came by and like cut these down. But we have branches falling like from our trees all the time here because of maybe some wind or whatever. But then you go around the neighborhood, and there's tree branches cut down on everybody's lawn, everybody in the neighborhood, and like. Nobody knows who it is. People are trying to catch them on Ring cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And so it never got solved. So the tree branch bandit struck again this past weekend and did like 15 houses. 15 fucking houses. And they're doing this at like 4:30 in the morning on the weekends. And they're just going around like vandalizing people's property. And I don't like it. So I don't know if it's used, but like what... There's a whole Ring community chat about this, and so supposedly they caught a woman on the Ring camera doing it, but they couldn't get a clear picture of who it is. So I'm going with, you know what? Maybe not used, but I'm going with the tree branch bandit. Okay, that's what I'm going with. The tree branch bandit.
That's fair.
Have you thought about getting some wasps? And like putting a wasp nest in there, and then when they cut down the branch, they are stung to shit.
Oh,
and now we've got a Macaulay Culkin situation in my.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Okay,
we got a catch us in the front yard
because it's some serial killer shit right now. I don't know if it's serial killer, but it's psycho shit.
I will say a couple things that have happened. One, I do want to correct you on something, Chad. The tree lawn is not your tree lawn. Tree lawns belong to the city, and so does that tree.
Yeah, but the city's not going to do it at 4:30 in the morning.
I'm just saying. It's not your stuff, man. It's not. They are damaging the city's things, not your things.
Also, well, there's people. They're going up into people's front lawns too, because there's a couple houses at front lawn. Tree
now we got a problem. Also, Chef Brian K wants to say maybe it's squirrels. Squirrels chop off small branches of trees in the summer so they get a breeze. So check those stems to see if they're chewed. Maybe you're just bitching about nature taking its turn, taking its toll.
See, but I don't know because I would buy into that if it wasn't literally because like my neighborhood kind of goes in a circle. If it wasn't literally almost every house in the circle,
it's a rogue band of squirrels.
It's a rogue band of squirrels.
Anyways, those are our assholes. There's one more in the comments, but this is going to lead to a little bit of a conversation. I want to hear your guys' opinion on it. Phil is not about it. Said his asshole of the week is the NFL not apologizing for Sorsby, but the league knowingly tanked that kid's career. And it seemed to me like they were just piling on the guy. So Phil is mad about the way the NFL handled the Brendan Sorsby situation. Again, if you have been living under a rock, this week, the NFL has decided they will not do a supplemental draft, which means Brendan Sorsby is suspended from the NCAA, and he cannot enter the NFL. And I did see some people ask this question. No, he can't just become a free agent. That's not how that works. So Sorsby cannot join the NFL this year, and he cannot go back to college football. So I would imagine we will probably see Sorsby in Canada for a year or the UFL for a year or whatever. But what are your thoughts on Phil's comments? Phil is mad at the NFL.
I thought the NFL handled it beautifully.
So did I.
There's no room in the NFL on top of all the allegations and like dumb shit that players get into. Let's not add betting into the mix. Like it's just the sports betting world is just an epidemic as it is to the sports culture. Like there's just too accessible. There's too much of it. Like he's one that got caught. I bet many others are doing it still. Emmanuel Clase is one that got caught. Many others are doing it still. But the way that the NFL phrased it, I thought actually like gave them the validation for their decision was like, you're basically coming to us with no remorse for what you've done, just expecting to join the supplemental draft. And like, maybe if you came at this at more apologetic, like more, I'm going to change. And like, here's the steps I'm taking to improve myself. But that's not how he approached the NFL to join the supplemental draft. And so they kind of just call bullshit on him. I don't know if that closes the door forever from him in the NFL, but like, surely
not forever, but certainly this year.
Yeah.
Chad, I couldn't tell your reaction to Joe, so I'm gonna let you go.
I think the NFL is all sorts of bullshit, in my opinion. Like I get it with the whole Sorsby situation, and they put it pretty. It felt almost unprofessional with the way they answered it, that letter. But I mean, I get it at the same time. But here's where I find the bullshit part is that the NFL is so picky and choosy with what they think that they're going to stand on their moral high ground for. With how much shit that that players get into in the NFL, it's if Sorsby was going to be a top 5 pick, right, a top 10 pick in round 1, I guarantee you they would have a supplemental draft this year. I guarantee you that they would, because if they thought that Sorsby could make an impact, could make a difference in the NFL, in the league this year, they would absolutely have had a supplemental draft. So but like this with how much money that the NFL is trying to accumulate, this is the hill you're going to die on. I understand you taking a stance with the way Sorsby handled things, but at the same time, have some standards, like because the NFL doesn't have any. It's so picky and choosy.
They don't have any standards, but I think in the betting world, like you're not talking about morally or ethically how a player like lives their personal life. You're talking about like the integrity of the game. And when that comes into question, I think that's when alarm bells go off. I think from their perspective, this was the perfect case to make an example. And I think the letter was intentionally allowed to do that to deter other people from doing it. They can't stop everybody from doing it, but if there's some kid in college that's like, hey, like I'm going to bet that I'm going to throw over 100 yards today, like maybe you won't do that.
Listen, first of all, I fundamentally totally agree with you, Chad, in that I'm not going to let the NFL come out here and act like there's some high horse morally that they can get on when they're like, well, yeah, but Ray Rice, we watched that video of you punching the shit out of your girl, but come on back. Or hey, Deshaun, fuck it, here in Cleveland, hey, Deshaun, 11 billion accusations against you, but like
11 games you can come back.
Yeah. There is nothing about the NFL that I stand with or stand for in terms of they're inconsistent, they're full of shit. They ruined Josh, the best wide receiver, probably the best wide receiver that will have ever played for the Cleveland Browns, ruined his career because they were like, well, you can't smoke pot. At the same time, because to me, gambling, I don't give a shit, man. I do care if you can prove that a guy was like throwing games, like again, what Emmanuel Clase did and what Luis Ortiz were doing, legitimately making bets, and it was to the detriment of the team. That to me that should be a sports unforgivable thing. But I don't have any moral high ground about gambling itself or whatever. So don't get me wrong. Having said that, I loved their letter to Brendan Sorsby. I loved it. I don't think it was unprofessional. I think it was clear and concise. And I think people are sweeping under the rug what Brendan Sorsby did. It was multiple schools where he had this problem. And every time he thought something was going to happen, he would move and he would hide it under the rug and he would sweep it under the rug and he would move over here. And it was calculated. He was having other people make these bets for him. And there's a paper trail of this, and they can prove it. And to me, I think the MLB is just and right in just being like, Clase and Ortiz, you're out of here forever. And I think it sucks because it totally fucks Cleveland fans over, but I think they're right in doing it. I absolutely think the NFL is right in doing this. This isn't just some guy got caught doing something harmless. This is a guy that was actively trying to sweep things under the rug, that was actively doing things that he knew he shouldn't be able to do. And he was doing it anyways, and he did it at one place, and he was getting caught, so he went to another place, and he was getting caught, and he was going to go to another place, and he was just leaving these places in his wake. Like, he didn't have a big impact at Indiana. Obviously, he had a big impact at Cincinnati, and then what happened? Things were getting a little tight for him, so he said, screw you guys in your bowl game. I'm going to Texas Tech. I don't like this kid at all. I'm glad we can kind of be done talking about it after this, because in my opinion, and this goes back to what you said, Chad, in my opinion, we were talking about a mid-round prospect in such a high regard because it was going to be the supplemental draft and because he was the only guy to talk about. I don't think his play on the field warranted the level of conversation that we were having with this dude. And it shows the way he is viewed is showed by the way his teams view him that he left. So I like the way the NFL handled it. I like the way they called him out on saying, you did this, this, and this, and you got in trouble for it. And you think that we're just going to be like, yeah, come on in. No, hell no. You're not going to run away from your problems back there by coming to us. I don't like it. I don't think it's right. I like the way they handled it. And Brendan Sorsby, I don't think he's getting enough from public view. I don't think he's getting enough grief. I know he's just a kid. I don't think his whole career should be ruined. But I think this 1 year break where you got to wait it out and go find something else to do is warranted.
Sure. Listen, me saying that, going off on that little tangent that I did, doesn't excuse what Sorsby did. Like, I think that, yes, he should have been punished. He should not be allowed to play in the NFL. It's just such a hypocritical situation to me when it comes to the NFL. And it's like,
well, the one line they said in the letter is that they stand firm that playing in the NFL is a privilege. I wish they would treat everything like that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And like I've said in the past, if the NFL knows that you're going to win football games, that you're going to be marketable in the NFL, I guarantee you Brendan Sorsby would be in the NFL right now.
I also just, again, we spent a lot of time talking about a guy that's like maybe kind of good, maybe kind of good. Like,
yeah. Well, who knows? Depends on how much money he has on the game.
Maybe he'll go. Maybe he'll Doug Flutie it and go blow it up in Canada, and then come here and get in the NFL and be a good quarterback. But like, you know what? Ultimately, as a Browns fan, I am glad this conversation is over because I was terrified that they were going to do something stupid, and I did not want them to do something stupid. So now we don't have to talk about that. All right, boys. Just a couple quick hitter things. Let's talk really quickly. Let's talk about hockey because some moves getting made in the NHL. The Washington Capitals had themselves a day today. July 1st coming up for the NFL and all the moves that are going to get made. But Chad, Joe, this offseason, we've said this so many years, this offseason feels very big for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And it feels like maybe we need to start learning that things in the NHL can't just be done through the draft because that's not really how things work in the NHL. We just watched a team that was largely constructed by Don Waddell win the Stanley Cup. And now Don Waddell's at the helm. We've been told by a lot of reports, do not expect the Columbus Blue Jackets to just be the biggest actors in free agency because that's probably not going to happen. And it feels like that's the direction of this, but like, what do we think the big situation is with the Blue Jackets and what direction are they going to go?
I think they're going to try to add more scoring, right? I think, I've said this morning that, the free agent market is not, the players on the free agent market right now are not very good. Right. Well, and they're good, but they're not guys who are going to make a huge impact. There's not a lot of guys in there that are going to make a huge impact on the Blue Jackets starting next year. Alex Tuck was one of the very few names that was out there that could have made a difference. But he's now in a sign and trade with Washington as the Capitals have really improved their secondary scoring, their depth scoring with that Alex Tuch sign and trade. And they traded for Jordan Kyrou. They did a sign and trade for Jordan Kyrou as well. So you got a proven 60-point guy on that team now, and you have a guy who can give you 60 to 70 points as well in Alex Tuch, even more. All right. And you have a proven playoff performer in Alex Tuch as well. So, I think those two things really kind of indicate that Ovi is going to come back, because Ovechkin is mulling retirement right now. And obviously the end is closer than it is more years coming for Ovechkin. So, but they're trying to entice him to come back. And this was a good start for the Capitals. But as far as the Blue Jackets go, Don Waddell is probably one of the most transparent GMs, not just in hockey, but in all of sports. He's going to tell you. Weird. I got a little weird dot on my nose right now.
You do have a little dot on your nose.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is following me. Don Waddell is one of the most transparent GMs in all of sports. So I can guarantee you that he is out there trying. I can guarantee you when he says that they're in on a bunch of free agents, that they're in on offer sheets, that they're in on trade talks. It's not just blowing smoke. It's not just your typical GM blowing smoke up your ass type situation. He is trying, and I think a lot of the things that Blue Jackets fans need to kind of calm down on is it takes two to tango, right? You need a dance partner to be able to make moves, and if another team doesn't agree, you can't make those moves. So I'm hesitant to put a lot of blame on Don Waddell if moves aren't made, because we've seen in the past how hard it is to get guys in Columbus. I think it's bullshit because
you see how long they stay.
Yeah, because you see how long they stay, but it's tough. Like the solution that they have to have is winning. That's how you're going to get top free agents in Columbus. That's how you're going to get, high profile trades. That's how you're going to get guys to waive their no trade clause to go to Columbus. Is you got to start winning. What the solution is there, I don't know, but you got to be savvy, right? Like take Yarmo, for instance. People didn't like the contracts that Yarmo signed guys to, right? So they thought they were bad contracts. But the one thing you could say about Yarmo is he took swings, right? And in a market like Columbus, who hasn't won yet, but if you're trying to win, you got to take big swings. And he did. When you take a look at the likes of Artemi Panarin, right? Artem Anisimov, Brandon Dubinsky, when he built that team, he was trying to take swings to win in Columbus. Sergei Bobrovsky, getting him from Philadelphia. So you have to take swings. And I think Don Waddell is trying to take swings. I just don't know that he has the ammo to do it. But I guarantee you this, he's going to try to build something here in Columbus like he did. I mean, he already did it in a market similar to Columbus in Carolina. He's trying to do it here, but I think it's just he's just having a lot of trouble doing it right now. But he's going to be working the phones nonstop. I guarantee you.
I think the key point you hit on is like not having the ammo to do it, because with the weakness of the free agency market this offseason, like you are looking at trades for potentially like big moves for this team.
Yeah.
But like you don't just like get a trade your worst player to get like something that's going to make an impact on your team.
Yeah, this isn't fantasy football.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like my thought is that there's probably a lot of trade-offs. Like, he's probably looking at maybe some higher tier players or some well-respected players to put on the block. And those are not easy decisions. It has to be the right fit coming back if you're going to make a really big splashy move to improve the roster of this team. And so, I think a lack of moves is not concerning to me yet.
Yeah. And who on this roster is going to net you something, right? Like the big thing that a lot of Blue Jacket fans and national media personalities want is another top six forward. Who on this team is going to get you a top six forward as far as the trade goes?
I think your shiniest pieces are Zach Werenski, obviously, and then like Ken Johnson maybe would be like a good you might be able to get somebody that you could develop for him.
Yeah,
But those are like the two that come to mind for me.
Yeah,
but that goes back to, again, for me, the position that they're in, and this is what Don Waddell's got to figure out. It becomes more and more glaring. I don't know why it doesn't get talked about more. They have biffed the draft over and over and over. And this isn't Don Waddell because he's only had a couple opportunities here.
Dating back to 20 years.
But they have biffed the draft over and over and over and over again. And when you look at guys like Kent Johnson was supposed to be a star. He's not a star. He's not a star. He's a guy that flashes things, and that's it. There's no substance to the way he plays. And when you listen, I'm sorry. I think Adam Fantilli is a serviceable NHL player that you want on your team or whatever, but to be a top level pick, you need more than this. And the guys they've totally whiffed on and totally missed on. And the NHL draft is not like it's maybe a little bit more of like a cross between the NBA draft and the MLB draft, where sometimes you will take a guy early and he's going back to college for a year or whatever. And so there's guys you got to wait on a little bit. It's kind of like baseball in that regard, but you got to hit on some of these guys. When was the last time they absolutely hit on a pick?
Rick Nash.
Yeah.
Rick Nash.
It's no shade to Adam Fantilli, because I feel like that feels like it's throwing a little shade at him, but is he performing like the pick he was taken at?
No. Adam Fantilli's ceiling right now with the way he's playing is being a very good goal scorer in the NHL. That's it.
And remind the people where he was drafted?
No, or was it 3? It was 3.
It was 3.
Yeah, it was 3.
3rd overall.
Yeah.
3rd overall in the draft. And his ceiling is to be a good goal scorer?
Yeah. Yes.
You're not hitting on any of these guys. We have sat here and we've bitched and moaned over the years about, the Blue Jackets should have gotten the top pick, but Chicago did, or the Blue. You're still getting a top 5 pick in so many of the years, and you're not. Think about the guys you've drafted and they don't exist on the team anymore.
Right.
That is the biggest problem with the Jackets.
Yeah.
Is you have not developed from within to the point where people want to come play for your organization from outside.
Sure.
You haven't built it inside so that people from outside want to come play.
Yeah, for sure. And now if you're going to improve this roster to give yourself the best chance to win, you got to get creative. You got to offer sheet. Now, the free agent market, the unrestricted free agent market is not very good, but the restricted free agent market, if you can sign some guys to some offer sheets, because the Jackets have about 30 to 35 million in cap space, that's how you can improve this roster. That's the way, that's your avenue between that and the 14th pick in the draft. That's your avenue to improve this roster immediately. So hopefully that can happen, right? Like I've mentioned some guys like Jason Robertson, 100-point guy, 90 to 100-point guy, perennially. You can sign him to an offer sheet right now. Well, not right now, but July 1st.
July 1st.
And hopefully, and Dallas is most likely not going to match an offer sheet that he gets, because they're in cap hell right now. They're pretty restricted on the cap. So if you can sign a couple of guys to some offer sheets and not get and those teams not match it, I think that's the way you're going to improve this roster. And you got to figure out something with the 14th overall pick in Voronkov or Johnson or some sort of combination of that to get another top forward or top defenseman, whatever you're looking at. You'll still have the money left over to worry about the depth. I'm not worried about the depth. You need top scoring. You need top scoring, right? You need top scoring, and you need some standalone, stay-at-home defenseman, and you still need
a goalie.
A goalie, right? Jet did great last year. I don't know if he can improve, but that's what you need.
Yeah.
Zach is the perfect trade piece if you're trying to rebuild. Right, the return he would net would give you a great starting block to restart, but we'll see if that even happens. I don't think it's going to, but we'll see if that happens.
All right, 2 quick hitters. Guardians. We reacted last week We reacted last week to Jose Ramirez going down, Chase DeLauder going down, Angel Martinez going down. Just literally the core three dudes for this offense this year. And now we've seen what's happened within a week, which basically is the Guardians just salvaging games from series. Just salvaging. So what's our evaluation at this point?
I think that's exactly what we were expecting. Unfortunate the White Sox have caught up in the standings, and we blew that game on what was that? Was that Monday night? It was last night, wasn't it? I don't know.
No, 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. But it's just gonna be what it is. Like, you lost 3 of your best hitters in your lineup. Like, it's not gonna be a fun stretch, but just salvage some games. So I'm not in panic mode yet with this team at all. I would love for our closer to not blow a game that we've fought so hard to get back at. That would be super cool because you're not Andrew Cade Smith.
Pardon me, right? I said they surpassed. The White Sox did surpass, but the Guardians win today caught them back up, so tied for first.
Yeah. But the White Sox are, proving, and the Tigers, but the White Sox are proving to be like your competition, at least in the early runnings for this division race. And so, I'm okay to kind of catch them a little early with our backs against the wall. But yeah, it's going to be like this. The All-Star break can't come soon enough. Let's just get across the finish line at the halfway point of the year, and then hopefully get some health back and, some fitness back on the team and move on.
Yeah, this team just needs to get to the All-Star break. Like,
yes,
it feels like over these last few games, or since the injuries happened, it feels like one of the guys in the lineup is going to have just a monster night for them to be able to score any runs. Like Bazana had that 4 hit, 2 home run.
That game in Houston.
Yeah, 5 RBI. It feels like to get any offense, someone like that is going to have to step in and have that type of game for this team to have any offense. So this team just needs to get to the All-Star break. They need to get healthy. Shout out Khalil Watson though. He's been having a nice debut so far in these last couple of games in the White Sox. But yeah, it feels like the offense has to come from one person in this lineup. And it's like Joey said, it's going to be a rough stretch, but you should have, DeLauder and Martinez back hopefully soon. We'll see.
Having said that, there's still it's been sloppy lately. The Guardians still have the 3rd most wins in the American League. It's a wild.
That says more about the state of baseball than Guardians.
Says more about the AL, to be honest.
The only two teams with more wins than the Guardians are the Yankees and the Rays. Nobody else.
In the AL?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yankees have 48. Rays have 44. Guardians have 42. Next team is 41 in Seattle. That's it. Having said that, I'm gonna just go into the All-Star break and get to the trade deadline, and I'm just gonna have the pipe dream, and until it's dead, I'm gonna let it live. I'm gonna have the pipe dream that the Cleveland Guardians can find a way to trade for Yordan Alvarez from Houston, because they apparently are about ready to kind of reset that thing, because things are getting a little weird down there in Houston. And Yordan Alvarez, I'm gonna just hold on to. There's rumors that the Guardians could put together a thing for him, and I would backflip off the top of my house if that happened. So I'm just.
Who are you giving up?
Fucking my mom, anybody.
Yeah, your mom's going to Houston.
Jose? No, they're not. No, Houston's not. Houston doesn't need a Jose Ramirez. They need
Mamacita. Have fun in H-Town.
Just gonna see ya. I'm trading you two for Yordan Alvarez. I am trading anything. And take Cooper. Can take my dog with you. All of you can go for Yordan Alvarez. I'm holding nothing back.
Oh shit!
Damn, Mexico.
All right. I
thought South Africa just scored.
Oh. All right. I've got 2 more quick things, then I got a game.
All right.
Browns.
Ew.
So gross.
Rumors.
Oh, Shador? Shedeur?
Only rumors. Yeah, there's nothing else to fucking talk about, Chad, with this team.
I know.
Shit about any of the rest of it. It's, in my opinion, the best roster they're going to have going into a season in a long time.
Outside of the quarterback.
Except for the quarterback. Don't listen. I'm not stupid. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
Except for the quarterback. But even with the Myles Garrett trade, this offense is ready to be. This offense is primed to be miles ahead of where they were last year. And even with the Myles Garrett trade, bringing Jared Verse back and at least getting a player like that to sub in for Myles Garrett means this defense is still going to be really good. And so minus the quarterback, this roster is really good. You talk about Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson and Harold Fannin, and now you're talking about Concepcion and Jerry Jeudy, and Denzel Boston has been amazing throughout the process. This offense and the new offensive line. This offense is ready with a decent quarterback to be good. This defense is good. The roster is good. But it really doesn't sound like there's any quarterbacks separating themselves, because when you hear that Deshaun Watson looked pretty good one day and Shedeur Sanders looks good, and we don't know whether who's better, and is Shedeur doing better, is Deshaun doing better, whatever. That means
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Deshaun Watson and people saying, we don't know who's doing better right now? Shedeur Sanders?
That means nobody is doing better.
No.
Yeah, that means they both suck.
Yeah.
So now there's this rumor that maybe there's some teams that want to trade for Shedeur Sanders.
Can what would you take Deshaun Watson?
What's
Yeah. Send us back your
He has to be.
What's the offer? What's the offer? What's the offer where you go, yeah, this is fine?
Oof, wow.
What teams?
Ed Monix and a washing machine.
The Jets.
The Jets? Do they still have Justin Fields?
Yeah.
Do they?
Or is he
actually,
in Kansas
I don't know.
City now?
Oh, I think he's in Kansas City, actually. I think he's a backup in Kansas City.
Oh, that's right. Kansas City.
Yeah.
Ask
right.
the Jets to get Justin Fields back.
But they have Kate Klubnik.
On the Jets, we will give them Shedeur and Deshaun, and we will keep Deshaun's salary. Just take the human.
Take the human.
Take the human.
and they have Geno Smith, who is currently arrested for like domestic abuse.
Oh, Geno.
Or like assault or something. Yeah.
All right. Then yeah. Well, Deshaun can give him some tips on how to
battery.
Oh.
On a police officer.
Oh.
Whoa.
Geno.
Yeah. Wow. That's very different from what I heard this morning. I just heard he was bopping his meat and playing video games.
Damn.
Like
I'm going to tell you this. I would be, and this is just my opinion. Again, you're right now with Shedeur Sanders, you're playing with house money.
Well, sure. Yeah.
So I'd be mad if you traded him away for something less than the value of where you drafted him. So if a team came to you and said, we'll give you a 6th rounder for Shedeur, I'd say, nah, because what's the fucking point at that point?
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I have something. Now, if a team came to me and said, you know what, we'll give you a 3rd round pick for Shedeur Sanders. Ching. Send it. Send it. We are sending that thing, and we're going to see what happens. But I am still, me personally, I am in team. Deshaun Watson can rot in hell at this point.
Goodbye.
give Shedeur the season and let it play out.
Yeah.
Let it play out. And if you win 4 games with Shedeur with this roster, then I feel like you're really going to be able to step back and be like, that's on Shedeur.
Because you know what Shadeur's not going to do? Like, among a laundry list of things that are reasons why I don't want Deshaun Watson to play, I can't sit there and watch him throw a 5-yard slant 2 yards short. I can't do it. I'm not. I can't do it. It's just not.
I will take 17 29-yard Shedeur sacks over
legitimately, because I'm in Seattle. Todd Monken's decision will determine if I buy NFL Sunday ticket for the season or if I don't. And just like have you guys recap the games for me, because if he's the starting quarterback, I'm not watching. I'll watch the highlights, but
I just can't imagine. Phil asked this in the comments. Seriously, what's the trade market for Shedeur? Probably not.
No. Late round pick at best.
I think this is Cleveland media trying to draw something up, like when we had Mikey McNuggets on before, and we were talking about the Boston media trying to drum up this Jaylen Brown for Evan Mobley trade, and it's all coming out of Boston media. Maybe it's about the same thing, but no, there's no trade market here, because what are you trading for?
What has Shedeur done to merit any significant trade market?
And listen, don't get me wrong. Outside of his fans, who are terrible, Shedeur's been nothing but great here in terms of like the way he's approached things. He's in the building all the time. He always says the right things. And yeah, sure, maybe a lot of that is just being coached up properly for PR and whatever, but I don't give a shit.
Good.
He doesn't make a fool of himself. He says the right things. When he gets interviewed, like even after the wins last year, he would get interviewed and be like, well, I don't think I played good enough. Give me that. I'm good with that. He is not embarrassing at all. He's a guy that I'm cool to have on the roster. Let him have a shot. I don't really think he's any good, but let him have a shot.
All of the Shedeur drama, I've said this since last year, has been conjured up by everybody but him. It's literally everybody but him. Like people just trying to make a story out of nothing. He's been a model citizen and a teammate.
100%.
Like,
you
leave him alone.
think with like his dad, like he's absolutely had coaching. Like here, you said some like wild things in college, but like he's absolutely had like not to put a negative connotation on the coaching, but like you need that. Like if you're coming from like
why do people talk about that? Why do they talk about that like it's a negative? Like, oh, he was coached to say that. Well, fine, okay. Good. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Because the media is vicious, man. Like, it's tough enough to like, spend every waking hour trying to fight to like get your spot on the team. Then you have to talk to people, which anything you say can be taken out of context or blown up into a massive story, which causes other issues. So like, yeah, if you can get coach to say the right thing to shut the media up so you can just focus on football, great. Do that as much as possible.
Please.
100%. All right. Last quick hitter before our game. I just want to know really quick opinion on this from you guys. I want to know asshole of the week or cheers of the week. Wyndham Murray.
Asshole.
So
Clark?
Or Wyndham Clark. Yeah, Wyndham Murray.
Oh, okay. I was like, who the fuck is Wyndham Murray?
I'm an idiot. Wyndham Clark. To fill in the gaps. Wyndham Clark last year at the U.S. Open in Pennsylvania performed terribly and then destroyed the locker room afterwards. Just like kicked shit in. There's pictures of it. He just went ballistic in the locker room, destroyed it. This year he comes out and wins the U.S. Open. And he apologized for what he did. He's been making like the media rounds. Like he was on Pardon My Take, which is usually a good place to like reset your media image. But asshole of the cheer or cheer of the week, Wyndham Clark. Joe.
Asshole. Look, man, like that is who does that in golf? Like, in my opinion, he's taken Bryson DeChambeau out of the perennial asshole of the week, and he's just solidified himself as kind of 1A in the golf world of just terrible things you can do as a golfer.
And Bryson's really come around, so let's give him credit.
Bryson's come around, but look, like who are you to go to destroy a historic golf club's locker rooms? Like that is just like. It's just so disrespectful to the sport, and like golf is a sport that I think like warrants and demands a lot of respect from its players and the game itself. And when you encroach upon that, and golf among every other sport, like that is the biggest like detriment, I think, to like your character in that sport in itself. So I think he's just an absolute asshole. You could tell, like, I've never seen like fewer people excited that somebody won a US Open than when he won it. Like his posse of 6 people who they kept panning to or clapping. But past that, like, he was getting like booed and like cheered when he made bad shots. Like, people don't like him. Like, he is not a good thing for the sport right now. And like, maybe he needs to go on a Bryson DeChambeau tour and just like take a step back, stop being as vocal, maybe just try to do some good things on the side and like start to rebuild your image. But like, to my knowledge, he hasn't like really done that. He just kind of won and started saying some things. And so screw that guy. Not to say you can't be redeemed and you can't like be a better person, but like right now he's not that, in my opinion.
Can I do like half a cheers and half an asshole?
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of split between the two.
Sounds painful, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, because half a cheers in your asshole. Wow.
Chad really wants to show his ass on this show.
Yeah, it's my butt's coming out. So like what he did was an asshole thing, right? But at the same time, he's kind of leaned into it, and he knows he's an asshole. And he's owned up to what he did. I guess that's where my cheers comes from, right? Like Bryson never really like owned up to his stuff.
Yeah,
right. Bryson just kind of reimagined, like redid his thing without even saying anything about it. So he kind of owned up. He's like, I know people hate me. Like I know people do, and what I did wasn't a good thing, and I understand why people booed me. I brought it all on myself. So yeah, like what he did was an asshole, but like I think the honesty is where his image is going to start to get repaired. But I mean, obviously it hasn't yet, because this is the first time that he's really, kind of been at the forefront of the public eye because he's won a major tournament.
Where this is going to turn around for him is because you've hit it, Chad. And Joe, I agree. It should have been a bigger story when it happened.
Yeah.
For a dude to just destroy
was it Oakmont, right?
A club locker room like that. Kicking the shit in other dudes' lockers and stuff. Like, he messed with the other golfer stuff. Like, it was gross. The more self-deprecating he can be about it, the better it will be for him. So the more he can go on to PMT, I can't remember. They asked him a question about they were like, let's do a draft of your favorite times where somebody destroyed sports equipment. And he was like, oh, I see where this is going to go. But it was funny. And he played into it. And that kind of stuff is going to help him. But I'm not glad he won. He's not there yet. He's not there yet.
My favorite part of that interview was they literally started it out with, people fucking hate you.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Imagine going into Augusta because you played bad and just destroying, or St. Andrews and just destroying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Don't be.
Look, I do agree with the point of Bryson DeChambeau never showed remorse for his actions, and so that is a good first step. I think it's going to take time if he continues down this path to really start to win public favor, but it's going to take time. So if he continues on the path, cool, and I'll eat my words and I'll give praise, and he doesn't need my forgiveness. He can do shit about that, but
no, he doesn't. He doesn't care about what you say.
But for the public eye to forgive him, I think that will take some time. But right now, no, not there yet, man.
All right, boys. I got a game for us before we get out of here. It's a draft.
All right.
And it's going to be a very subjective draft. So there's not going to be a right or wrong answer to this draft. But there's going to be a court of public opinion. It's a 5-round draft. It's a snake draft.
Shit.
And the order will be me. I got the first pick on this one. Finally, it's been a minute. Then Chad, then Joe. And I asked you guys to pull this up. So we've got the World Cup going on, and it's been spectacular. Can we spend just a second on that? It's been spectacular. It's been fun.
Terrific, yeah.
It's been a blast. It's been, and we're in the group stages now, and like we kind of know how things are falling out. It's still been a blast. Joe, you were in Seattle, where you live, but you were downtown last week for USA versus Australia. USA plays one last game against Turkey tomorrow in the group round. Before they've already won their state, they've won their group, which is amazing. But man, the World Cup's been great. It's been great.
Why is it Turkey and not just Turkey? What's that, or has that always been that way?
See their name. Great question. Pause.
I have an answer on this too.
Would you rather say things how they're pronounced to the people that created or like inhabit a space, or would you rather say like your version of it? So when you talk about countries, Turkey is a great one because like Americans, English language calls it Turkey, or has historically called it Turkey. It's Turkey. Or would you rather just be like I think of this conversation with like croissant, with like the French way how they say croissant. And they always correct you when you say croissant. But then they say McDonald's, and it's like, no, it's McDonald's. Like
McDonald's.
Yeah,
you can reference things that are like
American pig dogs.
Different culture.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled of elderberries.
You must bring me a bushel.
Listen, I'm cool with whatever the country wants to be called. Like, so the story, Chad, is that Turkey, they said that we want our country to be called Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just Turkey. It just adds another. It's
out of nowhere. There's no reasoning behind it. They're just like,
no, that's what they call themselves.
All right.
And they said we want everybody to call us this, and I think that's fair.
Okay. Fair. All right.
That's fair. I think if Germany came out and said, no, we want to be Deutschland, stop calling us Germany, I'm cool with that. It's Deutschland from now on. It's fine.
What else?
It happens all the time.
For sure.
We broke up Czechoslovakia, and then it went to Czech Republic, and now it's Czechia. It's Czechia is the official name. The country should be able to be called what it wants.
No, sure. I just didn't know if that was like what it was always called. Yada, 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 whatever.
So anyways, World Cup's going great. We've got several teams through. We've got several teams eliminated. We're about to get to the knockout phase. And I got to tell you, Team USA is in a really good spot. But here's the draft. Look at no other sports talk show would ever reference Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You guys are next level. I will reference that shit all night.
Bring me a shrubbery. One slightly higher than the other to give it the 2-tier effect.
Bring out your dead.
Blue. No, green.
I fought in your general direction.
Oh, let's go. We just do it all night. We are no longer the knights who say ni. We are now the knights who say iki iki patang. All right, here's the draft. We're taking every country that's in the World Cup, and this is subjective, boys.
All right.
You just got to draft the best ones. The ones that you like the most. And you got to come up with the best. You got to come up with the best list. And it could be for any reason. This is not soccer. This is the countries themselves. You just pick the ones you think are great.
And the countries or the teams?
The countries.
Okay, so not the soccer. We're talking strictly countries.
This has nothing to do with soccer.
Fantastic. Okay.
This is just
so subjective.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. This is subjective.
Yes.
So,
yes. Okay.
I get the number one pick.
Of course you do.
And boys, I would be remiss if I didn't make this pick. So I'm starting it off with number one. And while I have massive disagreements.
Just say America.
Well, I have massive disagreements with things. My first number 1A is the US of A. The US of A is the number one, whether it's the way they've played in this World Cup or whether it is just the greatest country on the planet, even if certain other things are happening. But the geography, the people, everything is here. Everything is here. And I'm taking USA 1-1.
Okay.
Chad.
All right. It's not about the soccer, but I made it about the soccer.
You better figure it out.
No. I'm talking about you.
I just listed the soccer.
I will.
We're unbeaten in football.
I'm going to go with Brazil. For the beaches, for the tropical aspect. Rio.
Sorry, say that first one again, because you were talking in an accent, and then
Brazil.
No. The what? The beaches?
The beaches. Well, both. I'm going to say both. You can interpret that both how you want, but yes. For all of that encompassing, yes.
For the beaches?
We're going with all of that, right? Rio isn't exactly a safe place, but everywhere outside of there is just gorgeous.
And the beaches. All right, Joe. So we got USA and Brazil off the board. You get 2 picks.
All right. I think this should be pretty easy for me. France. Give me France. The culture, the food, the history is impeccable. And for how shitty they are in wars, they do pretty good at soccer. They do really good at soccer. I think they had the chance. What?
They're the only reason that America is a country.
Yeah. But historically, they're really shitty in wars. And
they're so shitty.
Flip of creating the United States of America. But this France team too, to bring it back to soccer, man, they are electric to watch.
Mbappe.
Mbappe's incredible, dude. Yeah, so give me France. 2, I'm gonna have to go with the only country that represents my heritage that I know of. I haven't done a 23andMe because I don't want to give my data to everybody in the world. But Germany. Give me Germany, man. Give me just the Oktoberfest. I'm not really going to go to the history aspect of Germany, but I really think that right now.
Why, Joe? Why, Joe?
Right now,
if you're going to pick the country, you should just do an all-encompassing thing about it, Joe.
I'm not going to go into the history.
In the past, 60 years, they've been a really great country. So,
what about 80, 90 years ago?
There's some checkered past right there, but we're just gonna gloss over it.
No, listen. Hey, listen. We're the Garage Beers podcast, and I don't think there's a country that embodies beers better than Germany. So I'm with you, Joe. I'm with you.
Absolutely.
All right, so I took USA, Chad took Brazil, Joe took France, and then Germany. Chad, back to you.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Switzerland.
Ooh.
Talk about one of the most stunning countries you could ever go to. From a landscape perspective, I love hiking. I love being up in the mountains. Just one of the most picturesque countries you could ever go to. One of the most neutral countries you could ever go to. There's a reason why people say I'm Switzerland on this issue. One of the most peaceful countries you could go to. They have the watches and they have the sausages.
Oh yeah,
and they have the cheeses, and they have
the Swiss Dutch,
and they have the Dutch and the beers too. So I'm going to go with the Switzerland.
Ooh, I like this. Oh, a little Lake Geneva amongst the mountains. Oh yeah, come on. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And Zurich.
Yes,
you got Zurich and everybody's money.
Gorgeous.
Everybody's illegal offshore accounts.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
You gotta love this. Okay, so that leaves me 2, and I unfortunately. I'm going to just be such a white boy here for a minute.
Oh, God.
But I am going to take Heritage. And then I'm going to take, and I am going to make one of these picks based on the World Cup. But I'm going to go Heritage, and I'm going with my heritage, and I'm going with Sweden. And listen, man, they just got their shit together. Again, beautiful country up there in Scandinavia, the fjords, the history of Sweden, and just it's a happy place. It's a place that takes care of its own people. So I'm taking Sweden. And then from a World Cup perspective, I'm going to take Sweden's immediate neighbor to the west, and I'm going to take Norway because very similar. Actually, number one, it's ranked the
Scandinavian guy.
It's named the number one happiest country on the planet for 1,000 reasons. What?
That's Finland, baby.
No, it isn't. It's still Norway for 1,000 reasons. But if we're going to be topical and talk about the World Cup, outside of one other, maybe two other countries, who's doing this shit better than Norway right now? They are taking over cities. They did the Norway row in Times Square, and they have done it. They are killing the World Cup right now, and they're playing all right. So give me Erling Haaland's home. Give me Norway. I will take Sweden and Norway, and I'll be very pasty white, but I'm taking those two in my middle round picks.
Tartan Army and the Dutch. I think outside of Tartan Army and the Dutch, Norway's doing it right.
Hey, maybe shut up and then let somebody else take those, sir.
By the way, that was a classic, like camera cut. By the way, when Norway was at the Mets game today, they hit that 3-1 home run, and Norway's just dancing.
Yes, hilarious.
After that, let's see. I'm gonna go with Japan. Love the food.
You bitch.
One of the cleanest countries out there.
You bitch.
Just another gorgeous country. I mean, if you go there during cherry blossom season, unbelievable. So yeah, one of the most polite people out there. So yeah, Jimmy Japan.
I wondered if I should. So Japan is number one on my countries to go to that I haven't been to before.
Right.
100% number one.
Yeah.
You took it. I was hoping it was going to come back to me, and you took it. So.
You took it.
Huge. The food.
Yes.
The food. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
The history.
Unbelievable.
The ancient history of Japan. Everything about Japan I like. Everything about it.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to go there before I met the wife. I went over there to work a UFC event, and like that country is just awesome.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
This definitely influenced by my recent trip, but give me Spain.
España.
I've only been to Barcelona in Spain, but man,
Barcelona.
some of the most friendly people. The culture's phenomenal. Their cuisine is impressive, and I was very skeptical coming into it. And just history's phenomenal in Spain.
Barcelona.
Is that it?
No, keep going.
You must make another pick, Joseph.
I must make another pick. Shocked this is still on the board, but give me Mexico.
Ooh.
And that might be a dark horse, but
it's really
Mexico, among many reasons, but I am going to just narrow it down to one that is just so impactful. But the influence Mexico has had to the cuisine of America, to the cuisine that I favor most among any other cuisine in the world, is just second to none. It is like a true just favorite place to visit of mine, and a favorite place that has produced food that has been transcribed into the places of the Midwest that I hold dearly to my heart. Let's go.
Do it. I love that.
Margaritas, baby.
Love it. All right, Chad.
Give me Iran. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Chef rules. Next pick.
Shit. Shit.
No. Honestly, I mentioned it in passing, but give me Scotland.
Scotland.
I'm just gonna have to and it's not because I like haggis. Haggis is gross. But the people there, just the people, just make me want to hang out with them. Right? I mean, it's just you see this, and how could you not want to go party with those guys? right? Like it's and Scotland it's another one of the Scandinavian countries. It's cold as shit during the winter, and it lasts about 7 months out of the year. But hey, they have beer there to make themselves happy. So they're just a culture and a country of people who just want to have a good time. And yes, so give me Scotland.
I love this. All right, so here's where I've got 3 countries that I want, and I got 2 spots. So I'm gonna have to eliminate one, and I know what it's gonna be. But I've been a little too pasty white for my own liking in this situation. And not that I'm going to, well, you know what? My next one, I'm taking South Korea.
All right.
I wanted Japan. Japan would have been my pick here.
All right.
South Korea to me feels like the closest relative to Japan.
Okay.
And that's not even.
Do not tell them that.
No, they're okay. They're all right. They're all right. Both places very pop culture oriented. Both places very food oriented. South Korea a little more on the verge of danger at all times. But I love the Korean culture. If I was making my trip to Japan, I would love a couple nights in Seoul, like on a layover to hang out, experience Seoul, and then go to Japan. But I'll take South Korea. I love everything about it. And then I've got my 2 that I really would love to have, but I'm going to take this one for many reasons. But give me New Zealand. Give me New Zealand for the geography. We're talking about the country where they decided to film Lord of the Rings. Like, that's the geography of the place. Give me the various cultures. You've got obviously the kind of English inspired or imperialist culture there, but you also have the Aboriginal, the Maoris, that group, and this is where the haka comes from. If it's not for New Zealand, we do not have the haka before sporting events. Give me New Zealand. I think the haka is worth it by itself. So I'm taking it. Chad, you got Brazil, Switzerland, Japan, and Scotland.
Going to kind of go off the board here, and probably not what people expect. And that's okay. That's okay, right? There's no consequences here. Like you said, there's no wrong answers here, Mike. And I just love being in the tropics. Like my dream is to like retire to some tropical country and be on a beach all day, sipping drinks, like relaxing, listening to the ocean, the calm waters of the ocean. So give me Curacao. Give me Curacao. That is a perfect island. You get all the benefits of being a Dutch-owned country while being in the tropics.
I don't know why they get to be allowed to be a country, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's not, they're just Dutch, but
yeah,
it's fine. Just listen,
chilling on a beach.
You get the Dutch. Listen, but I do agree with you. You get the Dutch inspiration. You get the Dutch like architecture and like how they live with the Caribbean flair to it. That's hard to beat. That's hard to beat.
Yeah,
it's hard to beat.
I mean, give me that.
All right, so Joe, you've got France, Germany, Spain, and Mexico. Oh, that's a great list.
Solid.
Number 5.
Number 5. I'm between England and Australia, and I think I'm going to go Australia here. Give me the Convicts. I think many reasons. One, they gave us Travis Bizarner. Eternally grateful for. 2, to bring it back to sports, aside from the Netherlands being orange, there's no bigger, more iconic color scheme than the green and yellow from the Aussies.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I love whether it's Olympics, World Cup, whatever national stage you're on. Like, I don't know why they chose green and yellow, because their flag is red, white, and blue. But man, it's like my favorite uniforms across any country ever. So give me Aussies.
The Aussies. All right, so USA, Sweden, Norway, South Korea, New Zealand for me. Chad, you had Brazil, Switzerland, Japan, Scotland, and Curacao. And Joe, you had France, Germany, Spain, Mexico, and Australia. All right, boys, one last thing. And Joe, you can bring it back. If you had one honorable mention pick, who would it be? Quickly.
England
For Joe. Chad?
Yeah.
One honorable mention. Probably Portugal.
Portugal. Oh, that was close for me.
Yeah.
That was close for me. Mine was Netherlands.
Yeah.
I mean, just the people and everything about the Netherlands and the fun there. But there are some sleepers in there too. But Portugal, dude, and you get those islands off the coast.
The Azores.
And what's the name of the island that Ronaldo's from? He's not from the Azores. There's another island that he's from. And it's unbelievably gorgeous. Portugal, I kind of regret not putting them on my list, to be honest. Kind of regret it. But those are the picks. All right, boys. Let's get out of here as we get ready to. Hey, next time we talk, we're going to be full on in the knockout stage of the World Cup, which is going to be great. But before we get out of here, let's do our cheers of the week. And so I think I've gone last on a couple. So no, I went first on the asshole. Chad, go first.
So my cheers of the week goes to a couple in Kentucky, Damon Bennett and Trisha Crowley. Boys, if you're a criminal and you're trying to evade the police, you're trying to hide stuff from the police, you're trying to be as discreet as possible, right?
Right.
Sure.
So the police were questioning these two as they were causing a disturbance at around noon in London, Kentucky. And they had reasonable cause to search their car. So the woman decides to start handing them different stuff, right? It's like all this fake paraphernalia. And then the police got a little suspicious. And then they came across a bag in their car that had written in bold letters, definitely not a bag of drugs.
Yes.
Definitely not a bag of drugs. Which held multiple pounds of crystal meth in it.
No, it was just toys. It was toys.
But it's definitely not a bag of drugs. So when you're evading the police, it's crucial to throw them off with the definitely not a bag of drugs label on your bag of drugs.
Yes, 100%.
That's my cheers of the week. So the number one evading of police, just trying to throw them off the scent.
Oh, I love it. That is amazing. I'll go next. My cheer of the week is Michelle Kuga Bolodinga. And I don't know if you've seen this guy, but I can love this guy. Is he French? Well, kind of in name and in colonialism only, because Michelle Kuga Bolodinga is we're going to go back to the World Cup for a minute. He is the face, the number one fan of the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Oh, okay. All right.
And what does this guy do?
Dances.
This dude, nope. No, he doesn't. He does the opposite of that. The minute the game kicks off, he gets up and he stands in one position and he does not move until the game is over. I say 90 minutes, but it's really more like 2.5 hours. He stands and he doesn't move. And the story behind it is great. Even though the Democratic Republic of the Congo has turned into a shit fest, and it really was from day one, he does it in honor of, was it Patrice Lumumba? Or, yeah, maybe I don't have that right. But the first prime minister of Congo, when they declared their freedom from Belgium in 1960, this guy was like the symbol of hope. And it was Belgium that backed a group of refugees, and they funded them to basically have a military overthrow just 1 year in. 1 year in, this guy gets arrested and then he gets killed for daring to go against the Belgians, which, by the way, when did Belgium have this level of confidence in shit, that small little country?
Audacity.
But to this day, Patrice holds a very special place in the Congolese hearts because he was their symbol of freedom. And this guy goes to these games. It's Congo's first ever time at the Olympics. He goes to these games and he stands in the position of Patrice to symbolize what he meant for the freedom and democracy of the Congo. I think it's cool as hell. And he gets my cheer of the week.
Love it. I'm going to go another World Cup story. And if this is polarizing, I remind you on our 250th anniversary as a country that this is the home of the brave and the land of the free.
You almost nailed that.
Intentionally. Before the matches were set, Seattle had set, I forget the exact date, but I think it's like next Monday's game as like the Pride Night to celebrate Pride. It's June. It's Pride Month to celebrate that at the FIFA World Cup match.
Mm-hmm.
By scheduling and happenstance, that match is now Egypt versus Iran.
Yeah, it's not great.
Countries that do not support gay rights. They have both expressed concerns to FIFA to have any pride demonstrations and celebrations removed from the stadium. My cheers is probably the only cheers FIFA will ever get. Goes to FIFA for actually defending the celebration of Pride Month in the host city that it's in, and allowing the celebrations to take place during the match, the displaying of flags. And I think that's really good. And their reasoning was they want global inclusivity of all groups of people for this World Cup. And so I think that's a very great stance to take as an organization. I think it's going to be great for the matches. Iran and Egypt, your governments can go suck a dick. Nobody likes you. I don't care.
Iran enjoy it. I actually do. I feel terrible for the Iran soccer players.
It's a human rights thing. It's not against the players or the teams themselves, but
who knows? Who knows about the soccer players? But I mean, is any team more fucked than Iran in this World Cup? Hey, you're playing all your games in America, but you're not allowed to stay here. So you have to fly in. You have to fly in the morning of your game, and then you have to fly out of the country after your game. Like,
that's horrible.
It's a load of horseshit. It's for these guys.
I agree.
But I think that's a great cheers, Joe. I think it's great. All right, that's going to do it for episode 318 of the Garage Beers podcast. All we have to do is give our thank yous, and then we're out of here. First of all, big thank you to Mikey McNuggets from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. He came on with us, talked about the NBA draft. But the player the Cavaliers got, again, Malik Thomas, the newest Cavalier. And we talked about the offseason for the Cavs. But Mikey McNuggets, Mike Lucas, is amazing. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to the OBR for hosting us. Get over to the OBR.com and make sure you hit subscribe. And whether you're watching us tonight on YouTube or Twitch, or you're listening to us later, make sure you are tuned into the OBR, because towards the end of July, things are about to get crazy with training camp, preseason, and before you know it, we're going to be playing NFL football, which is going to be crazy. But make sure you are tuned into the OBR for that. And our biggest thank you goes out to all of you, everybody that joined us in the comments live tonight. We appreciate you. We love you. We appreciate you for joining the show. And if you are listening to us later or watching us later, we appreciate you as well. That's going to do it for episode 318 for Chad Meyer, a.k.a. Part-Time Chad, for the last time over on the east side of Cleveland. For Joey Whalen out in Seattle, I am Michael Keefe. We will see you next week for episode 319. Until then, as always, cheers, everybody.